Nick, can you hear me all right?
I sure can. Thank you for checking. Good
I just
morning.
want to, if you
How's it
can,
going?
doing pretty well.
Good, good, good. Oh, it's a very dramatic backdrop you got going on.
The sun decided to start rising earlier.
Yeah.
So,
Now how it goes. Well, thank you for joining us. Tim's going to start a private retreat for like a month in his house. And he's been kind
yeah,
enough to share his class with us just before going in. Thank you.
yay. I'm super excited.
Well, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for all of our interpreters and our production team, Worldview Productions. And whenever you're ready, Mr. Tim.
All right, cool. So we'll start with our homework from last class.
Oh
Let's
boy.
see how, oh boy, yes. I tried to make it easy, but I said that last time and then, you know, I failed miserably. Anyhow, okay, here we go. So we're basically we're in a debate. We haven't even, after 4 years, we haven't even gotten to the first line of the Abhisamaya Alankara yet. it's,
It's
it's a
coming.
little depressing. Um, I mean, depressing in the sense of like there's just a lot of preliminary work to do. I was super stoked. I was like, oh, we must be getting close. We must be getting close to finishing my first book.
Almost starting
Nope.
it though.
We're still about a quarter of the way into the first book, so there's still a lot to go. But we're trying to determine, because we're doing analysis of a classical commentary, we're trying to understand what a classical commentary is, and then we're also trying to understand who Maitreya is. You know, as the person who taught Asanga all of this, like, is Maitreya a Buddha? Is Maitreya not a Buddha? And we're getting into all of those discussions, which happen to be part of the second foundation course of the 18 foundation courses. So a lot of this is drawn from this text. So it'll be fun when we get there to see it. So we're in the middle of a discussion about the invention of the mind only school. So there's a comment about saying that since Maitreya, Lord Maitreya, invented the mind only school, then he himself must belong to the mind only school as well. That's what the debater comes along and says. Is that something we agree to? And if not, why? And Nick is shaking his head.
Oh no, I was giving the regular American negatory head shake.
Oh, oh, okay. um,
Uh,
did you want to? Were you shaking your head because you were just shaking your head, or do you have some additional
I would say the answer
comment?
is no, to
No.
your yes or no question. He just because somebody invented a school doesn't mean they belong to it. And as for reasons, I mean, I guess one thing we could say is that he also wrote books relating to other schools like the Middle Way, but also
Oh, wait. Did Maitreya do that?
Hmm.
oh, I don't think any of
Yeah.
his great books are middle way, but
Yeah,
he write books relating to the middle way.
I mean, how about, for example, the Avi
Uttara,
Samael Ankara?
right? For one.
Well, I would say lower middle way. Yes. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And then we have a counter example as Master Vasubandhu wrote a book on the Abhidharma school, and he didn't, and he's known as the inventor of the Abhidharma school, but he also doesn't subscribe to the beliefs of the Abhidharma school, which is known
Mhm.
because he was forced to write the book from losing a debate with his brother,
Who was?
Master Asanga.
Yes.
Wouldn't
Right.
also the consequence branch followers say that if anyone sees emptiness directly, no matter what philosophical school they go into the experience having, they see the same emptiness. And so he is at least a bodhisattva of the highest middle way. And so that he wrote anything of any other philosophical school It doesn't prove anything about his own beliefs.
Exactly. I think all of those things together, right? And one thing that we did say is, why would he write something that he doesn't believe in completely?
Why would he do anything?
Man's got
Anything he
reasons.
does is to serve other people.
Well, I don't know why.
He does it to help us along the path by mastering a lower school that is the step to the higher school.
I like that. I mean,
that many people cannot just jump into.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't met Maitreya. At least I don't think I've met him, or maybe I have. I didn't know that I met him, but I don't know what Maitreya's motivations were. So it seems like maybe his motivation was to help us along the way. Yes. So cool. Nice. Yes. Louder. Chris, I don't know if you heard, Christina asked, was Maitreya in the flesh when these books were taught to a Sangha?
Woof,
Well,
woof.
Yeah. There he is. There he is now.
There he is.
All right, keep it down, Jaru. Wait a minute.
That was the best answer. Let's scoot on. Okay. Oops. Okay. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, actually. So thank you, Subhuti. So I messed up in the beginning of this question here. So after we identify, like in a debate, that it's not necessarily the case that because someone invented a school of thought that they belong to that school of thought. Another debater shows up, and the question should say in the defense of the original point, not our defense. All right. A second debater interjects to say that there's no way that Maitreya could be a Buddha because of something that the Buddha has never said. What is that thing the Buddha never said, according to this debater? Jacqueline has her hand up. Okay, so Jacqueline said, if you didn't hear, that the Buddha never said the pen is real. Can we extend that even further? What about cats or windows or Emily's? Emily Chen is here, by the way.
Wow, you were up early yesterday, Emily.
No, expand upon the sentence that you said that the pen never existed. Wasn't real. That's fair. Well, what I mean is okay, Christina said the implication is that there's nothing that is real, right? In that way. So basically, they're saying, well, and then the second question will explain why. So basically, the second debater comes in and he also quotes Chandrakirti, and who says that the Buddhists have not taught the idea and any and all that entities could exist. All right. And how does that point attempt to prove that Maitreya is not a Buddha? And I'll give you a hint that it's that debater's point of view with relationship to the mind-only school and Maitreya's invention of the mind-only school.
Because Maitreya is saying that the pen does exist.
Yeah, they say some things are so.
Okay, Oscar, I don't think they would say the pen exists.
Well, the pen
what would
writes.
they say?
Yeah.
Right, but what exists in the mind only school?
Xuanzang's.
Shenwangs, yeah. So the three parts in the mind only school, Kuntak, Shenwangs, and Jungdrups. Shenwangs are dependent things, or things that are dominated by other things. I think that's how it goes. Is that how you say it? Word? Something like that.
Yes, things that are dominated, meaning caused things.
Cause. Okay. Cause things. Okay. So our debater is trying to say that Maitreya is not a Buddha because first, the Buddha never said that entities are real. And Maitreya said, because when he invented the mind only school, that there is something that is real, Shengwangs. Okay. Why? So we've already discussed it, but so why does this argument fall apart? What is this debater still assuming?
That because he said it, he believes it.
Correct. Thank you, Upala. Just because he said it, that means he has to be believing in that. So he's assuming, this debater's assuming that point of view, that because Maitreya taught it, therefore that must be his Rang Luk, his system. And then Maitreya couldn't be a Buddha because a Buddha never said that anything existed from its own side. So what we're going to start seeing in what's coming up is we're seeing all the wrong views why Maitreya is not a Buddha. And then we'll find out what the right view is later in Sutra, I guess. All right, vocabulary. Shengwangs.
Dominated things.
Entities,
Entity, right?
or whatever you want to say.
Dependent things. Geshe was saying dependent things, but I think we should use Word's translation from his book.
Yeah.
How about Nopo Denpar Yu?
Because something functions, it's real?
Or just real existent things.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Existent truth.
Entities that exist truly in reality, something like that.
You might want to put a yippa then, right? We'll put them par yippas.
I guess so.
If it's a noun.
Yeah. Yes. Correct. And what's the Dana?
Five
Group.
books or something. Someone.
Five of, so what could we assume the 5 books of?
A great book.
Good point.
I don't know. My
All right, the five books. Okay. And the 5
Promise
books
to
of
train.
Yeah. Cool. Good job, guys. All right. So I had an idea. Last night I was planning this class and I didn't have a chance to meet with Geshe because he's having a holiday with Veronica. Because usually I meet with them and say, hey, what is this debate about? And then I can figure it out. But I was having such a difficult time and I was getting frustrated and I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then I had an insight as I was falling asleep and I got up super early. We haven't finished Asanga's biography yet. we still have like a folio and a half left of Asanga's biography. And I was like, that'll be fun. So I think we can jump back into that.
Oh,
You can
nice.
clear that thing up about the dog, about Jaru.
Right, clear up that thing about the dog, right? And and I thought it would be kind of auspicious to go into that because for those of you who don't know the story, which probably most of you do, is that Asanga went into deep retreat for 12 years to meet Maitreya. Right. And after 12 years of retreat and having come out several times and getting special messages to go back into retreat, Asanga was like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this crap. Right. And he decided to leave. And along the way, he ran into a dog who had been injured. And he was the guts were out and there were, little tiny worms already eating away at the dog's flesh. And out of an act of compassion for the dog and for the living creatures that were eating the dog, he went to remove those worms from the dog first with the softness of his tongue. And I'm guessing out of the pure compassion of that moment, his karma shifted so much that then the dog became Maitreya. And so he finally was able to meet Maitreya, which might be an interesting thing for us to discuss in our 15 minutes afterwards, like how to apply this in real life. And then he meets Maitreya. Maitreya takes him off to Tushita heaven for what seems like a morning to Asanga, teaches him all the cool stuff. Asanga comes back 50 years later and then writes down the 5 great books of Maitreya. And so we're in the middle of that biography. And so so where we are in the biography is Asanga has come back, and I still want to figure out how like Asanga and Master Vasubandhu interacted with each other, like, because there's all these stories about them, as brothers. Did they have him before he met Maitreya? Anyway, we can talk about that later. But he comes back and then he starts teaching, and he starts teaching students what he learned. So that's where we are in the text. So let's figure out what happens to Asanga after he's back. So we're actually in a discussion of all the cool things he writes down.
Him,
So
we should start a business.
I think, what are we going to start?
A Sangha dog deworming.
Ugh.
Oh, dude. It's morning over here.
We're not that efficient, but the results are amazing.
Sangha brothers.
We only promise total enlightenment. Wow. Who's the first employee?
Just want to see
Results may vary depending on who's looking.
Depends on how grossed out you are and how compassionate you are. All right. Thanks, Word. Right.
You're welcome.
All right, here we go. All right. Oscar, can you read the first line here?
Yes. Neter chamchu dengai kerku chingumpar tokwe yentang yungi tuntumpa teni namne sam.
All right. All right. We're going to work on this together. I thought this would also be a relief for us because I think we all know most of these words.
Yeah.
I hope. All right. Neder jamche dena.
Then in that place, the 5.
By the way, the place that he's in is he taught in a forest. Like he went out to the forest and taught his students. So that's where he is. He's in the forest right now, teaching. Just to set the scene for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, in the forest, in that place, he wrote down in letters those 5
right.
books.
He wrote down those 5. Yeah. So he taught his students some cool things, and then in that forest he wrote down the 5 great books of what?
Of Maitreya.
Of Maitreya. Nice. All right. And what happened next?
The Nuntoken al Abhisaya Alankara. He taught.
Yeah, so look,
meaning of the Mother Sutras, probably.
Probably, yep. And then probably taught what word?
Yeah, in the Abhisamaya Alankara. Or wrote that down.
And what's the English?
ornament. Well, Geshe Michael has a new name for it, but ornament of realization it used to be.
The jewel of realization.
Jewel of realization.
Yeah. So, but when you said, do you think he's teaching the meaning of when he says the mother here, what does that mean?
Perfection of
Like
wisdom sutras. You might even want to
perfection
footnote that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prajnaparamita.
So is he teaching the meaning of the perfection of wisdom in the Abhisamayalankara, or is he teaching two different things here?
He's teaching the
Because
meaning.
I think the meaning in it, but it is a dong, so it's a
Right.
reasonable question.
Yeah.
But I mean we seem to know that the Nguntok is a teaching on the meaning of the Prajnaparamita sutras.
Mhm. So maybe it's both, maybe it's one. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
they seem
could be,
they seem like they could be one or many, I guess.
Well, then it says Namnge Tam, so he composed it so you would understand it.
Right.
So I think that supports the idea that that book was composed so that he would understand what he was teaching, or
Right.
something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So it seems like he's describing the meaning of the perfection of wisdom, and the jewel of realization is the perfection of wisdom, is from Maitreya. So probably, we can interpret it both ways, I think.
Tani. Don't skip it.
Tani.
And from those very things which we are arguing which one it is, either the both books or the meaning of the mother, he explained the meaning in depth. Vinishai. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it's he explained the meaning and the book itself, like maybe he was giving commentary on it or something like that. To all of the students in the forest. I don't know. All the students in Rimrock, something like that. All right, cool. Let's see. Who wants to read next? How about Cotting? You're in the next picture.
Nader Jamchud Day.
Next line.
Thank you. Rimgi Gulame Jelpatang De De Gong Jelgi Jelpa Zeching.
Nice. Okay. Let's see here. So say, what does that mean, Cotting? Do you know that?
No, I do not.
He wholly did.
He wholly did. That's a great translation
in this case.
Perfect. Yeah.
He wholly did the composition of what things?
The higher line.
In this case, I think it's the commentary known as the higher line.
Oh,
yes. Commentary. Yeah, not of in this case, right? The
Probably not.
I don't think so. I think
commentary. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
and why are we using the word commentary here?
Because we anticipate the debate that's coming in your book.
Yes, and for what does that mean, Nick?
What, Drelpa? What does it mean, or why are we using the word? Oh, a classical commentary is something that comments upon the work of the original teacher, Buddha, as opposed to the works that he composed himself or spoke himself.
And what is that? How is that related to a Sangha and Maitreya? Just because we're getting into the debate.
Oh, they are commentators.
Commentators.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is the higher line?
A commentary.
Uttara Tantra.
Uttara Tantra.
Uttara Tantra.
One of the five books.
One of the 5 books, right? As I was trying to get at. Yeah. So it's one of the 5 books.
Yes.
Right? So he wrote one of the 5 books he wrote. We have the one that we're studying, the Nintokyen. Another one is the Gyulama. What is this Rimki here?
Successively, probably.
Yeah, one by one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one by one, he composed
Mhm.
first
This
the
seems to imply that he wrote them in this order.
yeah.
Probably
Julama and then Dode Gongdro.
yeah, and I think it
Yeah.
implies after Nuntogen, then he wrote Gyulama.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems to.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then he wrote those two. Yeah.
Yeah.
His commentary to the sutra called What I Really Meant.
His commentary to the commentary?
To the commentary. Yeah.
But that commentary is not a commentary.
Right.
Uh,
Don't get into
he
it.
wrote, and so he wrote a commentary on the. Okay.
Wrote a commentary on the sutra called What I Really Meant.
Okay.
I mean, if we have
All
a
right.
standardized title already for Dode Gongdro, which we probably do.
All right. So is that one of the 5 books of Maitreya?
No.
No. So it looks like a Sangha. We're learning about all the different things that a Sangha wrote. So I wonder. I'm wondering. I mean, as we go along, I wonder. Like, did he mean all of the 5 books? Are we including all the 5 books up until this point, or are we going to learn about more of them later? That's my question, because now we're talking about some other commentary that Asanga wrote. All right, let's see. Tina, would you like to read? You're the next picture. She's like, oh no.
Hello, Tim. I never read, so I can
Perfect.
try.
Perfect. Just make some noises.
Okay, I try. Re tung chiman
Yeah.
ngang la rangteng na de ba chen po liam chi rim ba chir ba
Okay.
ston ba
So Rimwa, it's probably Rimpa. We'll find out. Rimwa gay.
rimra gay
Mm-hmm.
bar ston ba byang chup sempe
Janchub. Janchub.
chim
Jang.
champe
Mm-hmm.
chup sem pe sa sok sa te nga
Na.
dang
Na. Mm-hmm.
dang som rampa ni psa de.
Nice. Well, for your first time, that was pretty impressive. Good job. More than pretty impressive. All right. So Jetsungi Menakla. From the Mennoks, what are those?
Advices.
Of Jetsun. Who's probably the Jetsun here?
Gotta be Jetson Jampai.
Maitreya, yes.
Yep. Probably Maitreya. So from that time when they were hanging out having cinnamon rolls in the morning. Got it. If I ever meet Maitreya, I hope he brings some cinnamon rolls. Maybe he already has. So from those private advices, Tenne.
Well, that's the from
Yeah.
independence upon those private advices.
If from relying upon, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't go far enough. Thank you. Tekpa Chenpoi Lamgi Rim.
There's an error.
Yes.
Probably right.
Mahayana Marga.
So that probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
So
we do, we're always supposed to put a question mark.
Yes.
Like that?
At the end of pa.
Yeah, typically at the end. I would say that functions. Yeah.
Pa.
I see. So we think it's this way, then when Geshe looks at it, he knows that we're questioning it. Okay.
Or we
Yeah,
say,
that's what
is
we
it
did.
this way? It's more like that. Is it this way?
All right. So we have the Tekpa Chenpo Lamgi Rimpa. What is that?
Steps of the Mahayana path.
Yeah. So he taught
In the way of the Mahayana.
Gapar. He taught
Extensively.
Bigly.
Sorry.
He taught the Lam Rim. So how do I ask this question? Why is this writer follow earlier on, just right before we started, the biographer was also talking about how he taught the Lam Rim to his first students. Why does there seem like there's an emphasis of the Lam Rim in this biography?
Oh, this is it's the biography of the Lam Rim lineage.
Correct. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So there's the biographer is emphasizing that, oh yeah, Sangha also taught the Lam Rim just in case if anyone cared. All right. So he taught that. I care. I love Lam.
Figure in the Lam Rim.
Of course we care.
Okay, so he taught from those private devices. He taught bigly, extensively, widely, the Mahayana Lam Rim. And then what else did he do? It looks like he also
taught some bodhisattva levels.
Taught some etc. Something in bodhisattva levels. How about this sadhana? He taught that.
Oh, the five.
The five.
Yeah, the five.
I wonder if that's the 5 books, or if this is some. I know he also wrote some books on the levels of bodhisattvas as well, so it might relate to that. I don't know. And then this thing here, which wasn't really sure what was going on, so maybe you all have some insight.
The dome number. Yeah, the 2 domes, huh?
Yeah.
Two summaries of some kind. I don't know. Dome number that could use further research. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a versed summary. 2 types.
2 types, two verse. Yeah, a summary of something. I'm not sure what it is.
Here are a couple of summaries.
Abhidharma Samachaya.
Is it? Yeah, it could be. That's interesting.
Mahayana Samachaya. His 2 summaries.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, cool. All right, so we got 2 summaries. Do we know what the content of those summaries are? Bets, or weird? Is it just what you have from the titles?
I always go to Word.
Oh.
Word as in Word, the wordsmith, or Word as in
Wordsmith.
Microsoft Word? Okay.
Oh my God.
Both things.
Okay. All right. So he composed some more things, talked about the bodhisattva levels in the sadhana. I think there's 5 books on those levels, and we start the next line talking about them. So let's see what it says. Svetlana.
Can some tech person help unmute Word's mic?
Oh, are the microphones? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now you got it.
Oh,
thank you.
Sadangan ni senyushi shidu wa nam drang du wa Nam parche pe go duva, nam parten la wapa duva nam so.
Nice. Does she go to your classes?
Yes, she is star
Yeah.
student.
Okay. Good job, Word. And actually, good job, Svetlana. Svetlana, I got your message. I'm going to respond to you today before going into retreat. Okay. All right. So in these 5 things about the Bodhisattva levels, it looks like there are 2, 3,
Oh,
4.
this
Looks like
5 could be. I'm just going through references here.
It's
Um,
it's the
it's
five
the
level book.
Yogacarya Bhumi. Yeah.
It's the Yogacarya Bhumi, the it's the listener Bhumi.
Shravaka Bhumi. I
Yeah.
think isn't
Oh,
Yogacarya, is that the overarching work? And then listener is among those. Shravaka Bhumi. I don't really know the names or the individual works within those.
I have them all right here. Um,
Oh.
yeah, the first one is that's the Yogacarya Bhumi,
Uh,
Nel Japa. Um,
mhm,
and then the levels to that. And then there's derivative works from that as well. And then there's the Bodhisattva Bhumis, but it's a collection of different books on levels depending on the level of practitioner.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
So I was trying to
Waiting.
listen to what you were saying and looking at the titles here. Do those seem like they're related?
Oh,
Because it looks like there's 5, 2, 3, 4. Looks like there's 5 listed here.
Namdrong is a collection of synonyms, which is a famous book by Master
Hmm.
Sangha,
Hmm.
translated by Master Xuanzang. Um, these are basically all in the mind only section, except for maybe one or two. They're all mind only books. Yeah, and there are two DOMs, as
And,
well.
and that actually comes in the next line.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Hmm.
So we have a book of synonyms,
Yeah, it's
or
called
maybe,
The Collection of
okay,
Sins. Uh-huh.
okay. We have a Shidua, like the summary of the foundation, maybe.
Foundational. Yeah.
Yeah. Shidua
Hmm.
here. I have them all here. Hold on.
Nice.
Here's
Well,
Shidua.
when I was reviewing this, I was like, oh, all the good scholars are going to answer all these questions for me because I don't know how to do it.
Yes, Shidua, Yogacharya, Bhuma, Vastu, Sangraha. It's a text. Uh-huh.
So that's the full title.
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
All right, cool. This looks like it's going to be an extensive footnote section. All right. What about this one, the Sai no Shi? Is that one of them?
Mm, there's many levels books. I don't know what new here means. Like the actual the actual book on the levels. Maybe that's the foundational work.
Mhm.
Um,
Duality of the stages.
I don't know.
It's a
Um,
book.
it is?
So yeah,
Oh, yeah, sure.
there's listing here
Yeah, he's listing all the book titles.
on the levels. Maybe these are all of the books on the levels.
Yeah, here's the main book on the levels is this 4035 in the chat.
It says
Actual
here,
levels, maybe?
Sadengani. Here's the 5 books on the levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All
Yeah.
right, cool.
I don't know what the knee means, but
I'm-
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. So we got 1, 2, 3. Now, what about the fourth one here? We have Nampar Shepe. That I'm not sure about that one either. Do you have a
Go. Duba.
Shepe? Go.
Short door of explanation.
The Hobbit door of explanation.
Right. Exactly.
It could be this one, 4063. That's the only one that has go in the title, so it could be that.
Compendium. It's compendium. What do you call it? Vavarana Samgraha.
Could be.
Vavarana Sam or yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Is that the one that Duodo posted? Yeah. Compendium of explanation.
But I'm going to delete your comment, Dodo, because we only use Roman characters in this course. If you could rewrite it as Roman characters, that'd be really lovely.
And I have the last one here, Tim.
Okay, cool.
4038. Yeah, it's a huge
Right.
book on the presentation, a summary of the presentation of the levels.
Oh, cool. All right. Save chat. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I
Great,
can send you this document I have too on the mind only books if
Oh,
you
that'd
want.
be great. Thank you. That'd be great. Thank you. Because then
Okay.
this looks like this is going to be extensively footnoted.
Okay.
Or just
All right.
footnote directly towards text.
All right. Now we get to now we're getting a little bit more here. We have the Domini. How about Uta? Would you like to read this short line here? Can all of you guys, tech people, can you allow people to turn on their microphones, please?
Okay, yes, thank you very much. Domnini tekpa chenpoi dom tek du dang tekpa teng mong gi dom yong pa kunte niso.
All right. Thank you, Uta. Nice. So the two domes here.
Thank you.
The first one here is Tekpa Chenpoi Dom Tek Du.
Mahayana Sangraha.
Mahayana Sangraha. Okay. And then we have the Tekpa Tungmongi. I guess.
It's probably Abhidharma Samuchaya. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Numpa Kuntu.
Okay.
Yeah, which Utpala said was the answer.
All right. Great. All right. Thank you. Thanks for the teamwork on this. I need to figure out how to do some of this research on my own. So maybe someday I will figure it out. Let's see here. How about Anastasia? Would you like to read, please?
Yeah, which one? Sorry.
The person who just started. Kovalenko. Yes.
Thank you. Esra ki pa ro tu chimpa chess don don ka
Chen
kan chi I don't know this.
Droop. Changi Droop.
Changi Droop.
I'm sorry. Chengi Droop. I'm sorry.
Changi Droop. Tap Rap ki, pa, ro, tu, chin,
Chin. Yep.
chin, ma, chup, tab, cher, cher, don't know this. Sorry.
Ser.
Ser, don, kan, gi, cher, cher, ping, ting, gi, chap, chap. This I don't know also, sorry. Th,
It's hard. Tub. Droop
tab,
tub.
chup, tab, yang, cher, chi, ching, gi, chup, tab.
I'm looking through this and I feel like this all should be together and not separated.
Should I continue to read or what?
Let's just pause there and see what we can pull together. Okay. Droop tub.
These are,
I don't know.
these seem like secret texts.
Yeah.
Ooh. So Cherokee, Palo Tucha, this is something that everyone should be able to, based on what we're studying.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Perfection of wisdom.
Perfection of wisdom. Right.
Razna.
And it's like something that possesses the golden something.
Color.
Golden color.
Right. So, right, is this like a personified perfection of wisdom? Like a practice text for reaching the basically like the divine being who is the perfection of wisdom in her golden form, perhaps?
That was what I was going to guess as well.
Yeah.
That sounds lovely.
It does sound pleasant.
I just found it in Tohoku. Yeah, it's a book. Yep.
All right. So that's the first one of the practice to reach the golden formed lady of the perfection of wisdom. I don't know. That's not quite right. Something like that. And then the second one is I'm assuming it's something similar, but it's just the
lady of the perfection of wisdom. Sherab Kiparatu Chinma. The ritual for reaching the lady of the perfection of wisdom.
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. We have another one of seems similar to the first one. I don't know.
It does.
Maybe it's just
maybe
like a secondary text on the same practice. Maybe it's another side note, same practice.
I found it too. It's a different book.
Okay.
It's 3394 in the Tohoku catalog.
Nice.
All right. Then we have another. What's young share?
I think the yang is probably and.
Oh, yeah. And.
Also,
Okay.
And.
Also. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. My brain separate differently.
And the ritual for the perfection of wisdom.
Just general, yeah. All right. Cool. I wonder if one of those are the ones that Asanga was using. In his 12-year retreat. All right, next book. The commentary, which is this. I don't know.
Read the whole thing?
Let's read it first. How about the other Anastasia?
Yeah. Thank you. Sange che drengi do trelpa. Chu chin drengi do trelpa. Genden Jedrengi doi drelpa. Semtengi Trunma Pakpa Champe Jupta.
Nice. So the first one looks like a commentary on the sutra, which remembers the Buddhas, like brings to mind the Buddhas, something like that.
Yeah. Recollect.
Recalling the Buddhas or something.
Recalling the Buddhas, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one that might have like the whole list of the names of the Buddhas? I don't know.
We'd have to dig.
All right. Then he wrote a commentary on the sutra, which recollects the Dharma. Something
Anticipatory translation.
Totally. I was just gonna say.
Yeah. The commentary in the sutra, which recollects the Gendun. What's that? Honestly.
The group of practitioners.
Maybe the Sangha. Yeah, the practitioners.
Yeah.
All right. So then we have the Samtengi Drenma. I don't know.
Lamp of concentration.
Lamp. Okay. Drenma is lamp and Samten is concentration. What kind of concentration word? If we had to describe even more.
Single pointed.
It could mean a few different things. It could mean
Yeah.
like the dhyana, like absorptions. It could just mean deep meditation. It could mean the direct perception.
Yeah.
It's typically the word that's used in the context of the perfections.
Yeah, it could
So
be
it
the
is the
perfection.
fifth perfection.
Mhm.
But it can be more general. Although that's very general, maybe.
Well, if we're talking about the perfection of wisdom, it could likely be that, but not necessarily.
Could be a lamp that explains them all.
Maybe that's why we needed to read the book.
It could just be a lamp.
Perfect lamp. I mean, a focused lamp.
Yes.
It could be a very focused lamp.
We could just call it spotlight.
Maybe that's it.
I think that is also a book, right? The torch, torch of the concentration.
Yeah.
I think that might be a different one.
Was that Gibson?
Yeah, I searched the database. This is a book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely a book.
It's a book.
Yeah, for sure.
We're just going through the library right now. It's super.
Books.
All right, so we have the Pakpa Jampe Drup. This is what Asanga may have been writing, practicing.
Why do you say that?
What does that mean? Pakpa Jampa. What does that mean, Tim?
Pakpa means possibly realized being. Jampa means Maitreya. Druptab is the practice to reach.
Yeah.
Or maybe he wrote it based on his own experience from having reached Maitreya, and that's what.
Like just like a dog.
See, you're gonna want to find a dog.
Step one: find a dog.
Yeah.
But it's actually why I have cats here. My retreat, right? They're similar. This one's similar to a dog. Cool. Well, it'd be cool to read it and see what's in it. All right. The next line. This is one's.
Oh wait.
This.
Yeah. I don't think we read the Chikoyin 10, did we?
No, not yet. I was checking to see what was going on below it.
Oh yeah.
Let's. Who would like to read? Who hasn't read yet? Pictures. Sandra. Oh, look at that. Surprise.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Where? Here in Cho?
Yeah, Cho. Yep.
Cho. Skew.
Ku. Choku.
Choku. Chokui,
Chukui. Uh-huh.
Yom Tam, Tung
Mhm.
Mo Ma, Yin Pe Chok, Pa Nam,
Te.
Te, Pa Te,
Mhm.
Pa Te, Pa Nam, Dag,
Say.
Se, okay,
Mhm.
Do.
Nice.
Mm.
So all of these last three sections actually should be together because the verb is down here,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So he
Nice.
composed all of that above, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, what else did so
Uh,
here's the last thing he composed. What's the
praises
chuk?
of the extraordinary qualities of the Dharmakaya, of the truth body.
Nice. The praise is tupa. What's another way to translate Tongmo Mayin?
Special?
Yeah,
Special,
unique.
uncommon, something like that. Yeah, praises of the exceptional qualities, the yuntens of the chuku,
Dharmakaya.
the Dharmakaya. That would be a cool
In
text.
English would be.
Stuff
Sorry,
body.
I'm just suggesting that
Truth
Sanskrit
body.
is not a translation.
Super body.
Truth body, I think.
Reality body.
It is
Reality
a
body.
translation.
It is a translation, but it's not the one we're learning here.
Truth body.
Can we say the Dharma body?
That's
Maybe.
still a problem, isn't it?
Dharma body is
It's
something
half of that's in Sanskrit.
The thing body.
It's not super attractive.
Truth body, maybe.
Yeah, truth something. Yeah, because thing body doesn't really capture that at all. It's like the opposite of thing.
Stuff body, no.
Yeah, cool. All right. Thank you. We went through that whole list, and let's see what's going on more. What's going on here? Let's see. How about Cornelia? Would you like to read? Connie. Yep, that's you. Yep.
Thank you, Tim. And I try it. Yeah.
Just make noises.
Yes, I make noises. Slop don pakpa.
Forget the S. Just the
Slop don. Can you spell it, please, that I can learn?
Yeah, so I highlighted the letters to pronounce. So without no S, just say lob.
Lob.
So, I'm sorry, I have the German translator, so I'm a little time.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Lob don pakpa tok met Disa Kshumpa Depa Grakshink.
Nepar Drak.
Nepa Drak.
Nice. All right. Who is the Lopon Pakpa Tokme?
Master, the realized Asanga.
The master, comma, the realized commas. It sounds like you're setting forth some great Marvel movie. All right. What did he do? What's this D mean? I'd like to always highlight these small words because they indicate a lot, and it's not always obvious what it means.
The guy we've been talking about.
And we were just talking about this cool guy in the forest who wrote all these books, Master Asanga. Sasumpa Nepardrak.
He is known to have achieved the third bodhisattva level.
And what's the third bodhisattva? So could you explain that a little bit more for all of us, Word?
Sure. There are 10 bodhisattva levels. You achieve each one by seeing emptiness directly. And the third one is said to be associated with the third perfection, which is the perfection of patience.
Right. So what's the implication of this line here,
He
based on what
was
you just said?
he perfected patience. He was a realized being. He wasn't a Buddha.
I mean, did he? I mean, if it's true what you said, then he saw emptiness 3 times in his lifetime, maybe,
At
or
least, or ever.
yeah, that's true because he may have seen it in a previous life. Who knows?
Well, and he may have seen it a lot more times after the first one.
Right. Cool. So he's known for achieving the third bodhisattva level.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool. And we're done. We're over time.
Nice
Yeah.
job, Tim.
Nice. Thank you. That was fun. That's a nice auspicious place to end.
It's all been pretty auspicious. Thanks. I think that was a really nice idea to go through the stuff that we can read together. And for me, my practical application is hurry up and get writing.
All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, so we have about 15 minutes for discussion before the Peachtree World News. And we have a new correspondent joining us today, the Peachtree World News.
Exciting.
But before we go there, what are some practical applications of what we discussed today? Everything from retreat advices to going through a library of books.
I just had this thought early on, Tim. I don't know. Yeah, I was just when we were talking about why someone would, in your homework, why someone would teach it at one level or another level. And I was just thinking about the ways that I saw it. And I had this great thought of high school chemistry. And when we were taught the structure of the atom, I don't know, maybe I'm just old and they don't do this anymore. But right, they teach you there's a little bubble in the middle, and there's these like orbits, sort of like planets around the sun. And then later the teacher teaches you that it is definitely not like that, but you go through this intermittent phase before you hear about electron clouds. I still don't know what an electron cloud is. Um, but I'm pretty sure that we don't accept that solar system looking model of the universe, and we're supposed to accept the super mysterious electron cloud model. But in order for me to even think about what the heck an atom is supposed to be, I have to think about the solar system looking dealy. And that was kind of my chemistry teachers to do that for me, because I don't understand what another, somehow the electrons are at all the places at the same time in the electron cloud, and but I don't understand that. So it just popped in my mind as a cute example of the ways that we use this sort of progressive, provisional, incorrect thinking to help us get a grasp on ideas.
The thing that you said, actually, I started thinking about. Have you seen that video of the solar system moving through the galaxy? It's not 2D but 3D, and everything's spiraling.
Oh no!
Like it's like the sun's moving, and the planets are spiraling around, so it kind of has this 3D helixal kind of. You know what I mean? Like spin around. So it gives this interesting feeling of the movement through through the galaxy, and then the sun's probably moving in some format, and then so there's all this like this movement that's happening that we're not even perceiving at all. And maybe that's kind of what you're saying, is that, and this brings me into Adam's book about Chichadrak, and I've been thinking a lot about it. Like we start with certain ideas, And then we have different mental images of those things. And then those mental images become clearer and clearer. And we cancel the old ones to understand deeper ones.
Right. Right.
You know,
And
but
then, we need these different frames of reference. Also, when we talk about the the planets moving around the sun, we have to temporarily not think about that other model that you just described. It hurt my brain for a second to think at the same time I'm supposed to understand the sun tumbling through the galaxy, not to mention the galaxy tumbling through a cluster of galaxies, or I don't know what a galaxy cluster is doing through the greater structure of the observable set of stars in the universe. But you sort of freeze one for a moment because what is movement? We're saying movement in relation to what? There's nothing that we can point to in the sky that's standing still, but that's too much. Just for now, let's call what you're doing still. And then we can talk about that before we get all worked up about that. I'm staying still right now. That's not true. That's not even remotely true. The Earth is moving, the sun is moving, the galaxy, right? All of these things are moving. But for now, let's call me still and matak machepar, right? Don't analyze further. Don't ask more questions. And then we can talk about what's going on in the room right now before we go deeper.
that you just asked a weird question. I'm like, what's the goal of meditation, right? Is to be single pointed, right? Well, one of the goals. Is that even like with what you just said is like, isn't that
Yeah.
kind of it's already paradoxical to think of it that way?
Right. Yeah. Each moment of a thing that you're thinking about. I mean, what are you going to watch the breath? It's we are the Buddhists tradition is famous for being called Vada, the school that says that things don't last for more than an instant. So your
Mhm.
meditation object doesn't last for more than an instant. So how can you be single pointed for a whole 65th of a 65th of a 65th of a finger snap? Um, but the objects are similar. I guess they say some places uh, that the objects are similar enough that you have a seed that forces you to see them as a stream. So if that's not proof that you have to serve people to achieve single pointed meditation, since there's no such thing as a single object you could meditate on that would truly last, you better collect seeds to be forced to see a ton of disparate, different objects over time as if they were a single thing for you.
That's both inspiring and terrifying.
Take heart, take heart. It'd be too hard any other way. All we have to do is
Right.
love each other. It's so much easier than mastering all the mechanical BS of meditation.
Right. Like,
It's
and like
fun too.
imagine 20 minutes of one object. Like the seed is, you know, if there's 65 per second, like in the same seed is ripening for 20 minutes. Well, not the same seed, but the collection of seeds that are ripening in that same order for 20 minutes. Like I don't know, could you never not be single pointed? I guess what you're asking is like, could you never not be single pointed because you're only ever seeing a particular moment anyway?
Yeah, you're not really one or the other. You're not really single pointed. You're not really
Yeah.
not. I mean, what if we just were trying to translate the right the chuku, right? I was thinking like the body of all things or something because dharma can mean all things rather than just thing. But then if all things is also a thing, then you've never not been single pointed.
Well, isn't the body of all things that the absence of all things and the potential for it to be all things?
Part of it. Yeah. And
So all
yeah.
things and each thing is the same thing. All things and anything is the same thing.
Yeah,
What
when
way
you say each
in what way are
thing.
they the same? In what way are they the same?
No, if no, I'm just asking questions related to the single pointedness issue.
Yeah.
If you're going to say that everything, because there's an everything, that when have you ever not been single pointed? Asking if everything is the same as anything is the same as each thing.
Yeah, there's this Mahamudra meditation, right? That some of us were taught where you just like you're watching the flow of the thoughts. And it was really hard for me. I kind of can't do it because I just never know whether or not I'm meditating. Like I think I'm watching the flow of thoughts. I don't know what I'm doing. Am I not watching the flow of thoughts? Yeah, even when I'm mind wandering? And if you've done, right, a few people in here I know have done long retreat, and it's hard when it gets really hard, and you look to a lot of techniques. And I can't tell you how many times, right? Kendra and I, we would have little notes and little signs to each other about our meditation because we did long retreat together, and we'd have all these cool ideas and like, oh, I think this really worked today. Having these breakthroughs, here's the technique, it really worked. And it doesn't work the next day because I'm so sure I figured it out. I think you're supposed to eat pancakes. I think that was it. Remember we had pancakes 3 days ago? I think that's what it was. And then it doesn't work again. It's gotta be these seeds. It wouldn't make sense any other way. It doesn't make sense any other way. You could never piece it together. You could never technique it together. And then the few breakthroughs that that you feel like you have, then there's some technique that was there. And like, yeah, I remember I did a technique around the same time that I suddenly had this breakthrough in meditation. But what about all the times I did techniques and it didn't work? It tends to be that when the seed ripens, uh, there turns out to have been a technique there. There seems to be some correlation, but I'm super suspicious about the causation.
The
Seems more like a
causation,
seed went off.
but like the causation for the seed to go off for the technique to do the thing the technique is designed to do.
Yeah, why do they happen near each other? Or does my mind just say, oh, well, since it worked, that must have been a technique. Like I call it a
Oh,
technique
oh, oh, I see.
because I was able to meditate in the next moment.
Right. Like you
So
can call everything in the universe a thing. And so I've never not been in single pointed meditation. There we go.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah.
like you called yourself out
Yeah,
in
it
the
doesn't.
moment. You're like, a technique. I got the technique.
Yeah, what it just doesn't make sense. It just none of that makes sense. We better we better plant seeds. The boss has been trying to tell us.
Just serve, just serve, right? And take care of others, And I think what you said in the beginning, Ben, is really I think it's the key to it. We can analyze all of these things, but if we haven't taken care of others and planted those seeds, then maybe we wouldn't be able to have this analysis and actually be enjoying it and finding it interesting if we hadn't taken care of others. At least I'm finding it interesting. I don't know if anyone else is bored, but I'm engaged.
Well, and why do you want to meditate anyway? You want to be of use to the people you love. So just in case it doesn't work to love people in order to achieve meditation, It's the only good use for meditation anyway, is to be better at loving people. So you take out the middleman, you jump straight to loving people, and you may accidentally find yourself to be a great meditator one day.
Hmm. That's beautiful, Ben. I think that's beautiful. So looks like we're ready for Peachtree World News. We have a new correspondent showing up in the room.
Oh, wow, exciting.
Oh, there's Juan too.
Hey. Oh,
One,
wow.
two correspondents.
Hey guys.
Juan just getting up from his meditation, I see.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. I got $1 million, got a house in the mountains, retired. So no, just kidding. But no, today we actually do have a surprise host with us. Very exciting for me to have these people there. I'm actually in Phoenix and soon I want to be going to Mexico. But thank God we have friends around who are there to support and inform the Worldview audience. So today, Sibon, Chloe, take it away. Thank you very much. I'll be listening.
Thank you so much, Juan. Thank you so much, Diamond Cutter Classics. That was an extraordinary class. I'm just putting myself back together after the defrag of that conversation. What a strong thing. Thank you, everybody. Speaking of strong things, Chloe's here with me, and we're going to share with you some wonderful experiences the Worldview Network has just been gifted with. As you probably know, Geshe Michael just taught, and Earl Burney and Michael Johnson just taught us the first installment of the Bhagavad Gita. And if you were there, you know how strong and how beautiful, how powerful it was. And we want to share with you a little bit of what we got.
Oh, sorry, Gina. Let me, can you go back to the first page? Yeah, so sorry. Hi, Saban. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Peachtree World News. So we are at February 15th. Today is the second day after Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day. And I hope you had a wonderful time. And Savan will be sharing with us some beautiful takeaways. So before that, let's look into what happened in the Bhagavad Gita. So now, Gina, please go to the next slide, please. So this is our new venue that YSI crew found this beautiful community room in Element Hotel. And then it's very, very elegant, and it was a very beautiful space. And now you can see Geshe Michael was teaching one of the stories in Bhagavad Gita. So if some of you online have joined this class, feel free to type what was your most beautiful takeaway from this class. And then we'll go to the next slide, please. So this is the whole YSI crew. Let's give them a round of applause. Yay. Thank you so much. It was such a wonderful event. And you can see everybody there, including the third generation. Yes. So, Savan, why don't you share with us what is your takeaway? And in the meanwhile, please join us in the chat, share with us your highlight of the event.
Thanks so much, Chloe. So I was scanning the chats and having conversations with people and looking at what the collective was saying about what was very important to them as the takeaways. One of them is a teaching that we've been receiving for a long time. We heard it in DCI as the diamond deal, but here in the Bhagavad Gita, in the context of this incredible story, we heard about what Geshe Michael called impossible situations. And it took this idea of the diamond deal where you're presented with two bad options. And in the context of the Gita, it wasn't just, I don't want to choose this and I don't want to choose that. It was like, if I choose this, everything's going down. Or if I choose that, everything's going down. I cannot choose either of them. And that, puts our back up against the wall in a way that we have to look at where these options are coming from. Like if we have the back history of the teachings that we do have, I can't go into this situation and make either of these choices. So we were given this incredible gift of, okay, so what's happening here? And we have to look at, this is the cause of my previous actions. These are my seeds ripening to put me in this situation of I can't go in either of these directions. And then Geshe Michael, in his great glory, gave us the cause for even being in that situation and the way out. And the way out is simply to recognize this is my creation. I created this option and I created this option and I created the situation where I'm stuck. And somehow that awareness is the seed for the third option to come up. So I don't know, Chloe, maybe you have something to share about that, or did you see something in the chat about that?
No, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I loved that Geshe makes the story from a fighting to beautiful takeaways of wisdom to use in our lives. So Gina, would you please share the next slide? We will go to see more of what happened in YSI, and hopefully we see more of this in the future. Now, I took this photo before they know I was gonna share this. So this is the behind the scene heroes, Gina, Francisco, and Mike. Without the tech table, nobody would see it except the few people in the room. So thank you so much, the tech table. Yay! Gina is playing this slide. So, and then please go to the next slide. And then you can see during the program, there are some extracurriculum. People are being more creative, utilize the entire Sedona. They did yoga and picnic on the lawn near the golf course. Next, that's our beautiful Megan and Sarah. So next slide, please. So this is the spirit of YSI, right? This friends, yoga, and healthy food. So we have juice, and then we have friends, and there are more beautiful things happening. So I really would like to welcome people to join YSI for the next round. So then you can see the poster. Next one, please, is the Bhagavad Gita. So here, if you are from the North America, you can still get the recording. And you'll also a way to just keep one of Geshe-la's beautiful teachings alive. And then we would like to show a video. YSI not only went to get the whole program for Geshe to teach, and also there is a visit to a special place. So let's see the video. Yay. Thank you, Gina. Let's show the next slide. So YSI on the last day of the program was organized to visit the senior home, Sonona Wing, behind our venue. And you can see some snapshot of our YSI staff. This makes me cry. It's just so beautiful to do, be a real yogi, go to the community. And this was a beautiful song about holding hands with hands, and then Sarah Blackburn singing, and Elisa, longtime Diamond Mountaineer. And this is just, and then we have people from Three Jewels. So yeah, so this is what I want to share. So so now let's get to the next segment where we have a secret guest. All right, please take away.
Just a second. Thank you, Chloe. Just a second before we move on. The Bhagavad Gita recordings are still available. The Bhagavad Gita one are still available for purchase. If somebody could put the link in the chat on the YSI homepage, landing page for Bhagavad Gita, you can buy it in a couple different languages. I highly recommend catching up to speed and catching it if you missed it. For China and for Russia, go to your local distributors and then plan on joining Bhagavad Gita 2. It's too good to miss. It's such a special way to receive amazing, amazing teachings, and you should be there. So without further ado, I'd like to invite our secret special guest to share with us some insights and some ideas in a very special moment in their life. Tim, would you please join us?
Okay. Just on camera the whole time.
Yes, well, you're a star.
Okay. Super secret. Hi.
Hi. Big secrets. No, but Tim, there was this idea that you're in a very potent moment, and that you might have some insights, some ideas to share with people about retreat, about what retreat is. And
well, it's really kind of an honor this morning, that everyone came over. So we meditated this morning together in this, beautiful house, and honestly, I walked into this house and was like, this is the house, this is it, right? And it's become more and more magical, with each day and having each of you here. And so I'm doing something that's a little bit off the script. Like normally we're supposed to do retreats in another location, so you're not used to your space and not distracted by things, but I'm going to attempt to do it here to keep that energy flowing. So for me, I think in what we were talking about a little bit earlier, it's really all about, the seeds, right? It's not like talking about what are the preparations, what should you do, what shouldn't you do, all these things. Like the seeds carry it, right? And I think like even just this morning, like the idea of inviting people over and having a meditation, even when the boss is off, right? Like just practicing together, I think, and practicing together with the same motivation, I think is a powerful seed for us to be able to go away for a month and do the deeper work.
That's a beautiful idea. What can someone who wants to get into retreat and hasn't found themselves with the seeds to do it, what are some ideas that you have of things that they can do to get themselves into retreat?
That's a good question. I didn't realize the power of like having the kawa, like to get into retreat until I couldn't. Last year I had planned a retreat and I just couldn't do it. Like the world just didn't let me. Like it just was like my mind wouldn't let me, my body wouldn't let me. It was just not it didn't work. And I realized that it's only through serving other people that it could potentially work at all, right? And I'm in awe and inspired by all of you who have done a 3-year retreat. Like we have Ben here and Cotting and Gelse has, and I don't know who else is here who's done a 3-year retreat, but it's like to be able to have the karma to like go in for 3 years. Ben, I have no idea. Cotting, I have no idea how you like collected that, right? to be able to do that deep work. But I
You
think it's
built a retreat center.
well, there you go. Right, there you go. Right, but it's the, I think it's the motivation too. It's like, why are you doing what you're doing? Like, are you doing it because you heard, oh, if I plant this seed, I'll get money, right? That's great, right? But like, why would you want the money in the first place? Like, what are you going to do with it? Are you gonna just keep it for yourself, or going to use it for, you have motivation to give it to other people? And I think that that motivation grows deeper and deeper over time. It's okay to start with things that we want. And I think we should always focus. I think in some ways we should enjoy getting things that we want. It makes it a lot easier. But I also think, like this house, for example, like when I walked in, I was like, I don't like people in my house. I hate it. I mean, not anymore. But I don't want people to, like, I never wanted people over. I was like, get out of my house. Like, this is my space. Don't come here. Like, go elsewhere, you know. But something happened and shifted. I was like, no, I want people here. I want to share this. And Geshe came over one night with Veronica, and he was like, we need to have teachings here. Right. And I was like, I still had that moment. Oh God, people are going to come over every week. I'm going to have to like clean. Like, now you're going to see how I live, but the way I live has changed. Like, I don't have to clean my house because I clean it every day. Like the meditation preliminary, if you clean up everything every day, you don't have to clean it. You don't have to spend 5 hours getting your house ready. Right. So I just always felt like something changed. And I think it's because like the house isn't for me, it's for maybe something bigger. Yeah. And I think if you have that motivation that what you're doing is always for something bigger, then you can do cool things like taking a month off to go into retreat, to do meditation, to do something bigger for the world. Something like that.
Turn the me into we. Wow.
Something like that.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, sure. And thank you for sharing your insights. And we wish you a very strong retreat where all of your wishes come true.
Thank you. And now you all have to leave so I can do
it. Thank you for sharing. May you achieve your highest goal for all of us. Have a wonderful
may all you achieve your highest goals. That's how I'm thinking about it.
Thank you. That is very inspiring. So with that, we can all think about how to start our own retreat with the example of our teachers. And we will be wrapping up. And thank you, Savan, for being the interviewer, the wisdom sharer. So we are done with this Peach Tree World News today. Hope everyone have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.